Hello bookworms, I'm Becca. I'm back again. Look who's back. I'm back with some books. I don't know. I'm back today with another book haul. It's been quite a while since my last video, and honestly, I was just in the biggest reading slump, so I wasn't really reading. I was doing a lot of streaming over on Twitch. I stream some Animal Crossing and other games on Twitch a couple times a week, so that is pretty much where I've been putting all of my time and energy. Along with working full-time, I went back to work as a preschool teacher, so that's pretty much where I've been the last, I think, 9 months since I uploaded another video. So I'm back today, woohoo, and I have some books to show you guys. I have a huge stack of books, so they're in no particular order, and let's get started. The first book I have to show you guys today is one that I have already read. It is the second book that I finished this year, and it is A Sisterhood of Secret Ambition by Sheena Bokweg. I feel like I'm not saying that right, so I apologize. This book is set in 1927, and we follow a girl named Elsie who is part of a secret sisterhood, and the tagline for this book is that throughout history, Anonymous has always been a woman. So the premise is that there's the secret society of women who is behind a lot of the most powerful men throughout history, and they are kind of pulling the strings behind the scenes. Elsie and her mother, as well as her friends, are part of the secret society, and Elsie is set to become the wife of a man who is on track to become the next president of the United States. But the thing is she's competing against her other friends for the same role to be the wife of this man. And so this book follows Elsie and her friends along that journey, and along the way, Elsie starts realizing that she wants a bigger pull throughout history than just working behind the scenes. She realizes that her voice is powerful and her voice matters and her name matters, and she doesn't want to be anonymous anymore. I love this book. I think that it was perfect for March during Women's History Month. I have it all tabbed, and each one of these tabs represents a line that is just a nonchalant line of feminism. And I loved how the author sprinkled that in throughout the book and made it flow within the book, so it just kind of fit. And it was just so good. It was so good. The plot wasn't anything special. The characters were okay, but I think that Elsie's journey throughout the course of the book is what really brought the story to life. So if you're looking for a book that has a strong group of women and really strong friendships, I highly recommend A Sisterhood of Secret Ambitions. I gave this one 5 stars. The next book I have to show you guys was sent to me by my friend Amanda, and it is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. And this one I'm not quite sure about. I'm not very well versed in Greek mythology or anything that was going on during that time. I've just been told that I would really enjoy this book. It follows Achilles and Patroclus. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. I don't know. I'm about 30 pages into it. I'm 37 pages in. It was kind of slow in those first 30 pages. I was having a hard time following the plot of the book, but now it's starting to get into the friendship of Achilles and Patroclus, and I'm excited to see kind of where the story goes from here. Again, I don't really know much about what was going on during this point in history. I'm not picking up any of the references. I don't know a whole ton about Greek mythology, but it is something that interests me, so I'm going to continue on with this book, and I think that it is going to surprise me, but we'll see. I'm hoping to finish it, if not by the end of March, then by the end of April, hopefully. The next book I have to haul is Peter Pan, and it is the Puffin Chalk edition. I have the Puffin Chalk edition of The Wizard of Oz, and I just really like these covers. It literally looks like it is drawn with chalk. I've heard mixed things about the story of Peter Pan, but it is one of my favorite fairy tales. I've never read the actual book, so I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I'm gonna go in with an open mind and kind of see what it's all about. But I will say that I've heard mixed things about it, so we'll see. We'll just see. Next, I have You'd Be Home Now by Kathleen Glasgow. Kathleen Glasgow is probably my favorite author right now. She also wrote Girl in Pieces as well as How to Make Friends with the Dark, and that is my all-time favorite book. I love that book so freaking much. This one deals with addiction, I believe. I don't know too much about the plot with this one. I just know that whatever Kathleen Glasgow writes, I'm going to buy. And I wanted to go into this book without knowing too much about the story. I got it when it first came out, which was a while back. It was a couple months ago, if not last year. And I just haven't had a chance to get to it yet. So we'll see. We'll see what it's all about. I'm excited though, because no matter what Kathleen Glasgow puts out, it's always incredible. Next, I have Seance Tea Party by Ramona Yee. I feel like I didn't say that right either, so I do apologize. This is a middle grade graphic novel about a girl named Laura. Laura is feeling pretty lonely. All of her friends are fading away. They're getting new interests and new friends. So Laura ends up befriending the ghost of Alexa that haunts her house. And everything is fine, but Alexa will continue to stay the same age as Laura grows up. So it seems like it's going to be kind of a coming of age story. The art is so pretty. I love it. I mostly got it for the cover. It's freaking gorgeous. It says, Seance Tea Party is a wise and delightful coming-of-age tale told with a bright, upbeat spirit. Yee's creative artwork fills every page with joy and magic and will inspire readers of all ages to treasure their own powers of imagination. Cute! Next, I have Under the Whispering Door by T.J. Klune, who's the author of The House in the Cerulean Sea, which I have not yet read, but this one follows a guy by the name of Wallace, who is having a hard time coming to grips with the fact that he's dead even after the Grim Reaper has come to collect his soul. So he is given a week until he needs to cross over to the other side. So he is determined to live an entire lifetime in 7 days. It sounds like it's going to be really good. I've heard amazing things about The House in the Cerulean Sea, so I thought that I might as well pick this one up as well. Next, I have another book that I read at the end of last year, at the end of 2021, and absolutely loved, and I hope that there's another book coming out sometime in the future because I just adored it so much. And it is The Mary Shelley Club by Goldie Moldavsky. The sticker is covering the last name. This is about a girl named Rachel who is starting at a prep school after suffering a traumatic incident that forced her to change schools. And she's a huge horror fan, and she finds herself roped into a dark secret society called the Mary Shelley Club that are a bunch of pranksters at the school, and they pull pranks based on horror movies and urban legends, but the pranks start getting out of hand, and when someone dies, they have to figure out what they're going to do next. This one was dark and twisted, and the ending left me looking over my shoulder. I was blown away. It was so good. If you're a fan of slasher films and horror and urban legends like I am, then I highly recommend giving this one a try. I think I gave it 4 stars. It was so good. It was so good. I would even reread it, and I never reread books. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Next, I have a book that I have been highly anticipating, and it is Loveless by Alice Oseman. Now, I didn't love Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. It is one of my least favorite books that I've ever read, but I love the Heartstopper series. And I've heard that this is nothing like the Heartstopper series, but it deals with asexuality thing, and I'm obviously very excited about that. I don't know that much going into it. I just knew that it dealt with a character that was realizing that they're asexual, and I believe that they are discovering the terms and learning what all that means right along with the reader. So we are watching it unfold as the character is having it unfold, which is really interesting to me. I'm hoping that I end up enjoying it a lot more than Radio Silence. I hope. I really hope. I really do. Next, I have another one that I'm highly anticipating, and it is Act Cool by Tobey McSmith. They are the author of Stay Gold, which I still haven't read, but the paperback, I saw the cover of the paperback today, and it was so cute. I loved it. I have the hardcover, I just haven't read it yet. In Act Cool, we follow a character named August Green, who just landed a spot at a performing arts school. And in order to be able to attend the school, he has to stay with his aunt in the city. However, the only way that his parents will let him do that is if he promises not to transition and continue to play the role of their daughter. And August doesn't want to do that. So this is going to be a book about following one's dreams and staying true to yourself, which I love. I need to read Stay Gold, but I am just as excited for Act Cool. I've probably hauled this book before because I'm looking at the dust jacket on my floor, but I can't find the copy of the book. So I got another one, and it's House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. We were just talking about it when I mentioned Under the Whispering Door. This one, I'm not quite sure what it's about, except I think it's about a house for magical youth. I was just watching Allie's video the other day, the hardback order, and Allie mentioned that TJ Klune did come out and say that their inspiration was the indigenous residential schools. So I'm a little iffy on this book, but I think I'm gonna give it a try. If anyone has more information on that, feel free to drop it down below in the comments. I would really appreciate it. But until then, I'll give it a try, but I am a little bit iffy about that. Next, I have Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. I've read a couple of Nina LaCour's books in the past, and only one really resonated with me. So I'm a little bit nervous going into this one, but I think that the premise will resonate with me quite a bit. This is about a girl named Mila who's used to being alone. She's aged out of the foster care system, and she's offered a job and a place to live on an old farm, but when she gets there, she doesn't realize that the farm is haunted. So not only is the past starting to come up, but her traumas of the past are starting to come up as well. So I think that this one will be really haunting, very emotional. It looks like it'll be a pretty quick read, and I'm excited to give it a try. Next, I have Where the Road Leads Us by Robin Rule, maybe? This follows two teens, Jack and Hallie. Jack is trying to find his estranged sister, and Hallie is just trying to escape. They used to be in school together, but they didn't really interact much, and when they bump into each other at a bus terminal, it jumpstarts a wild road trip where they're both trying to find the things they need. I love a road trip book, so I'm excited about this. I'm so excited. It seems like it's going to be emotional, but kind of funny, and overall a very hopeful book. So we'll see. The next book I have to show you is a young adult book called When the Stars Lead to You by Ronnie Davis. This follows a girl named Devin who had her heart broken by a boy named Ashton over the summer, and she's finally starting to put the pieces back together. So when the school year starts, she's very surprised to see that Ashton has started at her school. And when they reconnect, their chemistry is undeniable, but Ashton doesn't seem like the same boy that Devin knew over the summer. So this is going to be a look at mental illness and race and class through the passion, heartbreak, and power of first love. This sounds like it's gonna be so good. The next one I have, I'm pretty excited about. It's called Some Girls Do. It's by Jennifer Duggan, who's the author of Hot Dog Girl, which I liked but didn't love, and it was one of my most anticipated books the year it came out. Hopefully this one will be a little bit better. It follows two girls, Morgan and Ruby, who are drawn to each other, and they start falling in love, but Morgan is out and proud and Ruby is not yet out. So it examines queer romance and what happens when you find your first love while you're still discovering who you really are. So I feel like this one is going to be a little bit heartbreaking too. These books are about to break my heart. I can see it now. I can just see it. I have another young adult book called Bitter by Akweke Emezi, and this follows a girl named Bitter who spent her childhood in foster care but has been chosen to attend a special art school. However, while she's in the safe haven of the art school, she's noticing all of these injustices that her friends are trying to protest and fight out on the street. Bitter is finding herself pulled between old friendships, her artistic passion, and new romance, and she isn't quite sure where she belongs. In this book, we explore the power of youth, protest, and art, and it sounds incredible. I'm so excited. The next book I have to show you is called Dark and Shallow Lies, and it's by Ginny Myers Sane. I don't know much about this book, I'm gonna be honest. It was a complete cover buy. The cover is absolutely stunning. All I know is that it takes place in Louisiana and it has to do with the occult. Say less, honestly. The next one I'm nervous about because it's a huge book. It's completely out of my comfort zone, but it looks incredible, and it is Allure by Alexandra Bracken, who I've heard of the author, but I don't think I've read anything by Alexandra Bracken. This is a young adult fantasy. It is about this battle that goes on every 7 years. As punishment for a past rebellion, 9 Greek gods are forced to walk the earth as mortals, and they're hunted by the descendants of ancient bloodlines, all eager to kill a god and seize their divine power and immortality. What? That sounds incredible. This next one is another one that I'm super excited for. I know I keep saying that, but honestly, I'm just excited to be excited about books again. And it is The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovalino. This is about a girl named Tess who gets a summer job at the boarding school library, but she notices that the headmaster's son, Elliot, is checking out an awful lot of occult books. So when Tess starts looking into it, she ends up opening a door to a world of dark magic and forgotten places. And now Tess and Elliot have to work together to re-trap the evil that has been unleashed. That sounds so good! That sounds so good. I'm very excited for this one. I have another young adult contemporary to share with you all, and it is The Mythic Coda Rose by Jennifer Nisley. This is about a girl named Coda Rose who moves to New York City to learn more about her musician father that recently passed away. Coda is also struggling with the fact that she's in love with her best friend Lindsay. So this book is about bridging the gap between who you are and who you want to be, even when the latter seems impossibly out of reach. This one also feels like it's going to be really angsty. We love a queer romance. I'm excited to see what it's all about. Next, I have a young adult thriller called Lies Like Wildfire by Jennifer Lynn Alvarez. This is about a group of friends who go on a trip out into the middle of the forest. There's a forest fire, and one of their friends turns up missing. And it seems like there's going to be a lot of unreliable narrators because the inside flap is saying they can't break, and no one can know what really happens. I'm interested to see this story unravel. I love an unreliable narrator. It keeps things interesting until the very last page. I can't wait to read this one and let you guys know what it's all about. I feel like I've hauled this next one before too, but I can't quite remember, so I'm hauling it again. And it is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. What I liked about this one, which is another cover buy, is that the cover looks like an old VHS tape, and all of the blurbs and everything look like a VHS tape. It's an adult horror book, and it seems like it's gonna be a really campy read. I got it this past fall, but I haven't read it yet, and I'm excited to. There's already odes to a lot of horror novels and movies on the cover already. This one makes me think of The Exorcist. This one makes me think of The Birds and It, maybe The Omen. So we'll see. It says, this book packs all the magic of a summer horror flick. I love it. I'm very excited. And the last two things I have to show you guys today are two box sets. And the first one is the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I got the box set. I have read The Lightning Thief already, and I gave it 3 stars. It was okay. I wanted to get this box set because I didn't read the Percy Jackson books growing up. I was very much a Harry Potter kid and other book series like Nancy Drew, Little House on the Prairie, Holes. So I never got to give the series a try, and recently I've been wanting to pick it up more and more. So I read the first one. It was okay. Watched the movie. The movie is awful. And I am going to continue on with the rest of the series, but I'm not sure that I will love it. I'm more reading it for the experience of doing another like middle grade type series that I didn't get to read while I was growing up. So there's that. And I have another kind of duology that I haven't even taken out of the shrink wrap yet. And it is the Aristotle and Dante duology. I already have a copy of Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, but this one also came with the sequel, I think. Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World by Benjamin Elier Sainz. And I am so excited to have both of these beautiful books. I loved Ari and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, and so I'm super excited to read the sequel as well. Remember when I just said that those were the last 2 things I have to show you? I found another bag of books. I have 4 more books to show you guys today. The first one is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I don't know anything about this except the stand at Barnes & Noble said that it was like The Sixth Sense meets Stranger Things. Sounds incredible. And it's a fantasy book, and I believe it has to do with some magicians that are in a competition, possibly, to join a new society, a secret society. So I'm excited about that. We'll see how it goes. I also have another middle grade graphic novel called The Girl from the Sea by Molly Knox Ostertag. I definitely got it from the cover. It looks super cute. I was like, ooh, mermaids, ooh, woo. Maybe it's gonna be like cute budding romance. I turned the book over. Yep, it's definitely gonna be a cute budding romance. I don't really know what it is about, and I would like to keep it that way. So I didn't even read the back of the book before I bought it. I just picked it up and knew that I wanted it to be mine. Next, I have another young adult book that Josh actually picked up and added to my stack. So I'm a little bit nervous for it, but it seems like it might be something that is kind of up my alley. It is called We Are the Ashes, We Are the Fire by Joy McCullough, who is the author of Blood, Water, Paint. I haven't heard of that one. And this is about a girl named M whose sister was attacked at a frat party. Her sister's attacker gets off with no prison time. So it's going to be about the court case and M trying to fight for justice for her sister. I'll give it a try. Okay, and the last one for real this time is another young adult book, Fat Chance Charlie Vega by Crystal Maldonado. And this one doesn't really say much about the plot on it. It just says, coming of age as a fat brown girl in a white Connecticut suburb is hard. Harder when your whole life is on fire, though. We'll see. I feel like I've heard about this book, but I haven't really, I've heard about it, but maybe I also haven't heard about it. Did that make sense? Probably not. It's blurbed by Mason Deaver, the author of I Wish You All the Best. It says, this book feels like your best friend giving you a hug. It's warm and sweet and healing. I'm excited. The cover is super pretty. The art is very nice. So yeah. Okay, those are all of the books that I have to show you today. I'm excited to be back making videos again, hopefully a little bit more consistently. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below to see more bookish videos. I'm going to leave all of my socials and everything linked in the description as well. make sure to drop me a follow on all of the socials. I also stream over on Twitch a few days a week. We play a lot of Animal Crossing. We talk about books. It's fun. Cozy time. Maybe I'll see you there. That's all I got for you guys today. And I will see you next time. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Bye.